What's going on, guys? It is the SMT. Thanks for tuning in to watch this edition of the SMT YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to have you back if you are a returning subscriber and viewer, and if it's your first time here, consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification icon so you never miss an upload from the SMT. Today we're talking T-Mobile network. We're looking at network integration. We're looking at a timeline of completion of the process. It's it's one of those things that I think is an indicator of how prepared T-Mobile will be for the future and competing with the likes of Verizon and AT&T, and to a similar extent with Dish once they get their 5G going. It should be interesting to see. Now, we know the big component of their 5G plans moving forward is 2.5 gigahertz, and that's going to be the focus of today and its build out. So before I get into today's content, please do check out the links in the description box for the community items for the SMT YouTube channel. We have the SMT Patreon page link. We also have the second channel, Sneed Mobile Tech live streams, and then we have the Twitter handle at Sneed Tech, and then the Megadon.net invite code, the social media platform of the future. Never need another social media platform ever again. No algorithms, no ads, and no tracking. Megadon.net. So Neville Ray actually spoke and gave us some insight. Well, we'll call it insight on how T-Mobile is going to be building out 2.5. All right, so this is going to be their mid-band 5G spectrum assets and holdings that is really going to catapult their network to true 5G competition moving forward. So he spoke at the Moffett-Nathanson Summit, and I'll preface this by saying this about Neville Ray. He's usually pretty coy. He'll give you a little information, but he tries not to give too much. And in my personal opinion, he could be quite disingenuous at times. So take what he stated with a grain of salt. Anyways, he stated T-Mobile will be building out 2.5 gigahertz at a furious pace. He says, actually, in his opinion, the 2 to 3 year timeline for completion. He says that a lot of people are going to be surprised by how fast they get it done. So to me, he's indicating they could do it sooner. And based on what he's citing as early momentum and a lot of the preparation work, he believes that this can be done faster. He stated that thousands of sites will be done this year. Specifically, 1,000 overlays are being completed per month, and metro areas and congested areas will be getting these upgrades first. Those pieces of information are not new to us. We've had people on our podcast talk about this specifically, so we kind of knew about that. They have done all the prep work based on what he was disclosing, leases and permits and so on. They would be in a position to catapult them upon merger close, and that's kind of what they did directly with Philadelphia and then with New York City with some of that action. The last thing he spoke to were the tens of millions of Sprint subscribers getting roaming access on T-Mobile as they work on decommissioning and integrating the network. So basically what I'm getting from Neville is that he said they've done all of the groundwork, right? They're not starting from scratch. The pre-existing sites that already have 2.5, the permits and the leasing preparation for this build out and integration. If you think about what they're actually doing with 2.5, most of the sites that are getting upgrades in Philadelphia and New York specifically, they're getting about 50 to 60 megahertz of access. So what we're seeing is that speeds have been between about 500 to about 700 megabits per second in performance, which are really nice upgrades. But really for them, it's going to be all about scale and how they build out nationally. So Neville also spoke about getting into enterprise, which is good to hear. These are options, the ability to get into new revenue streams, similar to what Verizon and AT&T have been focusing on. Neville did say that we are a real competitor. And I think what he's trying to do there is he's trying to speak that into existence. So, and that's perfectly fine. And that's kind of always been T-Mobile's MO. They say it before it actually happens, and they're very loud about it. And that's okay as long as you follow through. So based on how many sites that they have and will need, I actually don't agree with Neville's estimations when I look at all the sites that they have access to. So let's just look at California. California has 4,300 sites right now that have 2.5 gigahertz access. So I don't know how many sites there are total in California for them to retrofit or decom and then recommission 2.5 gigahertz for 5G NR, right? I don't know what all those numbers are, but based on California Public Utilities Commissions and concessions that they have, they're going to need about 4 or 5 times more than that. So we're looking at possibly and potentially 60 to 80,000 sites nationally that are going to have this spectrum deployment. So I actually disagree. I don't think he could do this in a faster time frame than 3 years based on their capex. I would be impressed by a 3-year completion personally. That's a time frame that I can live with. I think 3 years is realistic, and that's still working at a fast pace. Now, in case you guys haven't noticed, here's something I'm noticing about Neville. What he says and what they do can often be quite different, and they change quarter to quarter. So, like Verizon, actually, Neville, Ray, and T-Mobile are actually building out their 5G, starting in metro and urban areas, and then, doing those upgrades for speeds and capacity and so on. Well, that's the same thing Verizon does, and they have poo-pooed Verizon's approach to building out 5G. So this is why I say Neville can be quite disingenuous. He always says things and then backtracks and changes and ends up doing it just like all the other carriers, because all the other carriers are doing it right. So why would you do it differently and do it wrong? It doesn't make sense. So I'm just saying that, take what you want from this report, take what you want from what he says publicly. It's really up to you how you perceive it. But I'm going to wait and I'm going to see how T-Mobile executes this plan, and I'm going to see what they do as opposed to what they say, because as of right now, based on their capex, I don't see them hitting it faster than 3 years. I mean, unless they were to increase capex over the course of the next year or so, then I could potentially see a change. But like he said, they're going to have to work at a furious pace. You guys tell me what you think of these, little bits and pieces of, discourse from Neville, what he kind of, disclosed in the information. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. What's your spin? What's your take? And what are your predictions on the network build out? Anyways, if you appreciated this video and found it informative, please do like this video and then share it to your favorite social media platforms. That helps the channel out tremendously. Thank you so much in advance for that. Also, I think let's hashtag new T-Mobile network. We're going to hashtag the new T-Mobile network. This will be their big push moving forward, and we really do hope that they do become a super competitive company in the 5G space. They have the assets to do it. Let's see them execute it. That's pretty much it for this one. Already told you guys subscribe. Already told you guys to bell notify yourselves, which is great. How about you check out some of these other videos that I left here for you guys to do, for you to see and view. That would be awesome. Thank you guys so much in advance. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. More videos to come. Stay tuned. I am the SMT, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.